Guwahati High Court Kohima bench has directed the Nagaland state government to file an affidavit with regard to a public interest litigation concerning implementation of midday meal scheme in Nagaland. After hearing the public interest litigation, a two-judge bench of Justice Kalyan Rai Surana and Justice Hukato Su posted the matter after 4 weeks. In its order, the court has also directed the respondent to indicate in the affidavit the amount of grant received from the centre and implementation of midday meal scheme during COVID-19 pandemic period. The counsel for the petitioner submitted that the petitioner has visited various schools and has gathered information that midday meal was not being provided to various school-going children for the approved number of meals during the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking to NE8, counsel for the petitioner Nito Koza stated that the government was supposed to provide midday meal for 220 days and 22 days during summer vacation. However, Koza informed that as per the fact-finding of the petitioner, there was poor implementation of the midday meal scheme where some children had received midday meal once in a month or not at all. Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Mukund Naravane, who arrived in Dimapur on November 23 on a 3-day visit to review the security situation in northeastern region, on Tuesday called on Governor of Nagaland R.N. Ravi and Chief Minister Neiphiu Rio to discuss prevailing security situation in the state. According to a defense release, the Army Chief assured the wholehearted support of the Army and Assam Rifles in maintaining peace and tranquility in the state and ensuring security along the Indo-Myanmar border. Earlier in the day, the Chief of Army Staff visited various Army and Assam Rifles headquarters in Nagaland and Manipur to make a first-hand assessment of the ground situation. Naga Scholars Association will be organizing an international webinar on the theme Living in the Present, Nagas in the 21st Century, scheduled from November 26th tomorrow to 28, which will be inaugurated by Chief Minister of Nagaland, Neiphiu Rio. A press release by NSA President Dr. Zuchamo Yanthan stated that conference will witness a total number of 64 research papers from different universities and institutions from across the globe. Prominent participants at the webinar will include Professor Paul Pimomo, Professor Emeritus Central Washington University, Reverend Dr. Wati Iyer, Convener FNR and Professor Emeritus at OTS Dimapur, Public Intellectual Professor Neera Chandhoke, Professor Sanjoy Hazarika, Director of CHRI, Subir Bhaumik, Journalist, Author and Editorial Director at Eastern Link. Many other eminent academicians, personalities and scholars will be participating in the conference as chairpersons. Assam Rifles recovered weapons and seized heroin along with Chinese bikes in 2 separate locations in Mizoram, an official of Assam Rifles said. Acting on a tip-off, troops of the Assam Rifles seized 261.4 grams of heroin and recovered a pistol with 4 live rounds and also a Kenbo bike during operation in Zauhaukthar village in Champai district on the Mizoram-Myanmar border. The seized heroin is worth Rs 20 lakh in the international market. The operation in Zauhaukthar village was conducted in collaboration with volunteers of Young Mizo Association and village-level task force. The government action came after the Union Ministry of Home Affairs directed the state government to take appropriate action to prevent the illegal plying of unregistered Chinese Kenbo bikes in Mizoram, particularly in the absence of a vehicle agreement with the Burmese government. According to the Assam Rifles official, the Assam Rifles troopers in Mizoram have successfully conducted anti-narcotic operations on several occasions in coordination with the state police and excise and narcotics personnel. A Rs 65.29 crore mega food park has been approved for the people of Meghalaya. Sources in the Ministry of Food Processing said that the Mega Food Park project for Meghalaya has been approved by the Inter-Ministerial Approval Committee. Out of the 65.26 crore Mega Food Park project, the Ministry of Food Processing would extend a grant of Rs 48.43 crore. The remaining amount will have to be mobilized by the Meghalaya state government. The Inter-Ministerial Approval Committee meeting, which gave the green signal to the Meghalaya Mega Food Park project, was chaired by the Union Food Processing Minister Narendra Singh Tomar. The Ministry of Food Processing has a budget of Rs 1,100 crore for the northeastern region and will be setting up mega food parks in all of the 8 states in the region. In addition to Meghalaya, food parks are also being set up in Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim. Arunachal police have arrested 2 more persons in connection with the late Teki Meena Lishi murder case in Arunachal Pradesh. Itanagar Superintendent of Police Jimmy Chiram said that the 2 individuals, Vijay Biswas and Chumi Taya, were arrested by the police on Monday after they were found to be linked in the late Meena's murder conspiracy. The total number of arrests in the case have so far risen to 7. The arrests were made following proper interrogation and due cross-checking. Vijay is a resident of Nagaon in Assam and was working under Ronnie Lishi, Meena's estranged husband, in his firm, while Chumi is Ronnie's 3rd wife and belongs to Kamle district, the SP said. On November 5, Teki Meena Lishi and her 7-month unborn baby were allegedly murdered by a hired killer on the orders of Ronnie, her husband, who is also the son of a former legislator. Ronnie has reportedly confessed to having hatched a plan to murder his wife. An early goal from Anirudh Thapa and a successful penalty from Isma helped Chennaiyin Football Club seal a 2-1 win in their first match of the Indian Super League season. Tonight's match is between Goa Football Club and Mumbai City Football Club, which will begin at 7:30 p.m. With positive cases rising all across the nation, the COVID-19 status of northeastern states are: like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for news that matters and stories that inspire.